First of all, I'd like to thank our panelists who have taken the time to come and join us on this occasion. Today's discussion is about logistics. And I think everyone present here would know that the biggest challenge for this country at this point is infrastructure. Logistics has got a lot to do with infrastructure. So no matter what we do as far as our economic growth is concerned, it is about keep putting logistics in perspective. If you have to get an infrastructure in place, if you have to get the kind of GDP growth that we are looking at. I'd now like to invite Michael to please start the panel discussion.
The story that we're starting out telling is the fantastic success of India. Everybody knows the GDP growth of India over the last number of years, and even expected to grow rather substantially and be one of the leaders in the world, considering the economical crisis that we have right now. And there is a huge influx into the workforce, creating abilities for Indian manufacturing to export to the rest of the world. More importantly, or equally importantly, India is also poised to be one of the leading consumption nations in the world, ending up to being top 5. But as it relates to logistics, there's also a flip side to the question, and that is conversations about congestion, time to market, diverse, spread out logistics distribution networks, regulatory issues, et cetera, et cetera. Mr. Munjal, maybe the first question to you. Given all these issues, how do you see the current state of logistics in India?
I think we have a mixed bag here in India. As you said, India has done well on many fronts. And within logistics, you have centers of excellence already. There are clear islands of excellence. If you look at a very traditional form of what we call dabbawalas in Bombay, there are many global business schools and consulting firms who want to come and do a study on these, how tens of thousands of lunch boxes are picked up from people's homes, delivered to their offices and delivered back home every evening. And the circle starts again next morning, works on time without any mistakes. So clearly there is native intelligence in our system. We have, however, missed out on regulation and implementation of a number of physical infrastructure projects that we probably ought to have done in the last 25 years. We have a market which is clearly one of the largest growth markets in India, but through regulation, we've not allowed this to be a single market. We have 27 different markets because of state borders, which is one of the reasons we, from industry, have been pushing the government hard now to switch towards GST. So at least you take away the state borders so you have a freer flow of movement across borders of states. India is currently undertaking what's likely to be the world's largest ever road building program. This is larger than what President Eisenhower did in the US in the 50s and 60s. And we know what that did to the US developmental model. It dramatically changed the development. The second big bump up in growth in the US came when they built the electronic highways. In India, we are doing both of them at the same time together. So a large chunk of our investment in hardship has already been made. I think we are at a tipping point in a sense of speaking, because we have, on the one sense, realized that all of logistics will have to be done. The airports, the railways, the highways, the seaports, and also the next level of logistics. It's not just the point-to-point connection between towns and cities. It's also the warehousing. It's also the use of technology for more efficient movement of goods. It's also when you go back into where it actually gets manufactured, how you package, how you stack goods, and then going inside the workplaces. In some sense, it, to my mind, is the most critical area, and that's the easiest to remove the fat, is how we manage our own manufacturing facilities. The other part of logistics is going to be moving people. Again, that's a part of logistics which often gets missed out. The program that is called Bharat Nirman in India is the world's largest ever rural infrastructure program that has been taken up. Besides the issue of water for irrigation and drinking and education and healthcare, the other part is connectivity. Just physically building roads and putting in electronic connectivity and the broadband into villages. I think we are heading towards changes that we do not even recognize ourselves and the multi